But you know what I'm saying? 18. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. Well.
You can't even say nothing like that. We'll see y'all at some point. I don't know when it may not be this year, may not be next year, but at some point.
I ain't give a fuck to play you niggas no more. As long as we get 20 before y'all. Fuck.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Two Peas in a Pod with Tim and Ryan. As always, I'm Tim. That's my dog, my brother, my player partner, co-creator, co-CEO, and, you know, the founder of this here podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's us, man. We found it. We're the co-creators.
That's true.
We found it. We founded it.
That's true.
It.
Really, he don't want to admit it, but he's really the mastermind behind everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he was the inspiration for it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we just have so many good conversations. And it's like, well, shit, man, we put this on the camera and talk.
Yeah, don't be trying to be modest, motherfucker. You know that I'm just fucking with.
Hey. But I'm happy to see you, dog, and I'm happy to get another one. And
yes, sir. Yes,
sir. We can go ahead and start with the obvious, I guess.
Let's go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off, huh?
Yeah, you know, I did. Fuck you, cause like you were so pro Chiefs until they got that third one, and now you like, man, I'm tired of the fucking Chiefs now, man. I'm tired of the motherfucking Chiefs now. But I did say I do see a scenario where the Eagles just beat their ass. I did say that.
You did.
All right. All right. So it's not out like I'm just blindly going for the Chiefs. As long as 1-5 is still in Kansas City, and as long as Andy Reid or a good offensive minded coach is there, I just have the belief that great things will happen.
Well, hey, man, they almost did. But, yeah, you know, the Philadelphia Eagles did stop the Three Peat of the Kansas City Chiefs, defeating them in the Super Bowl 40-22. The Eagles held the Chiefs to a total of, what was it? 200. They didn't even get the Chiefs didn't even get the 300 yards, bro. That shit's wild to me. The Eagles controlled the ball. What was the time? What was the time of possession? Where was this shit at? Because I wrote it down, and now I'm fucking up. Now I forgot it. Where the hell? Oh, the Eagles had the ball for 37 minutes to the Chiefs 23. You want to talk about total utter domination? That is the blueprint right there. But go ahead, Ryan, because you know I know you still got a little, you know, PTSD from the ass kicking that you witnessed on live TV.
I mean, it was. I mean, I guess we were due for another blowout in the Super Bowl. We haven't had one in a while, so you know, I mean, Eagles came out. I saw the Tush Bush touchdown. I was getting the pizzas at the place. I'm like, they drove right down the fucking field. Oh boy! And then that first possession the Chiefs had, that, you know, play breakdown, Patrick scrambles, get the first down shit. I'm like, eventually that's not going to work, and unfortunately it was in the Super Bowl. It got ugly. I think Patrick had 2 early turnovers.
Yeah, 2 early.
I know he had the pick six. He had the first initial pick. Then he had the pick six.
No, the pick six was first.
Pick six was first. Okay, that's 7 points you gave him. Then the other points, that's 14 points you gave him. So now it was like.
It was 24-0 at that point.
I was about to say it was 24-0 at that point. The game was over from that point on. See, this is why having players like a Tyreek really help, because it could jumpstart your offense. And then so now you worried about him getting open or somebody his caliber getting open. And now you have to worry about that, which opens up things like for your running game and things of that nature. But shout out to Jalen. Through all the noise, through all the backlash and everything that he heard, that was just the typical. That was the Eagles playing their brand of football all the way. You got the tush pushes, you got the running game going, Saquon doing his thing. Then you got A.J. Brown and Devontae Adams getting the open downfield.
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith. I don't know why I keep saying Adams.
You good.
Getting open downfield. And then you got Jalen's occasional scrambling. It was just Eagles football on full display. And, I mean, damn, could have at least been a tad bit more competitive, sure. But, like, all those slow starts and stuff that the Chiefs have been doing all season, this bit them in the ass. And unfortunately, it was in the Super Bowl. You do wonder if they had Rice, would it have been different? Probably not. But it's just one of those sucky Super Bowls if you were going against the Chiefs, which most of America was. I mean, now, I'm not a fan of all the Taylor Swift shit and stuff either, but I like seeing greatness. Like, we could have been like, in our 40s or 50s later on in life, remember when the Chiefs got their third one in a row? But I mean, we probably won't see a team get that close in football, especially. Like, name me a football team that has gotten to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row.
Well, the Patriots did, but I think they lost one in between the because I know they had the one against the Falcons. Then I want to say that next year the Eagles
and the Rams
yeah.
Okay, so the Patriots dynasty, but I mean, like, that is so tough to do, and then we can sit here and say the referees missed a lot of shit that was going on in that Super Bowl on the Chiefs. Or maybe they just didn't throw the flag. You know what I'm saying? So everybody wants to throw that stuff out there. Oh, we're playing against the referees, things like that. So now the Chiefs is probably going to go through a couple of years not getting any calls. So everybody can kind of fuck down. Mahomes finally let go of the mohawk. Kels, I don't know what the fuck Kels is going to do, but we're at that point to where, is he going to keep playing? Is he not going to keep playing? Just don't be like Aaron Rodgers and try to hold the franchise in limbo. If you're going to leave, leave. If you're going to play, play. But shout out to Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm extremely happy for them winning the Super Bowl. All I got to say, being Chiefs fans, maybe next year.
The biggest mistake I think the Chiefs made in this game was they took the bait. They listened to everybody about, Jalen can't pass and Jalen can't do this and Saquon's the entire offense. The Chiefs' entire game plan was to stop Saquon Barkley. And the fact that because they tailor-made their defensive game plan to stop Saquon Barkley, they wasn't worried. It's like they wasn't worried about nobody else. Why are you leaving, you're leaving A.J. Brown one-on-one on the outside against a corner that's a lot shorter than him? I'm going to take that matchup every time. And AJ was cooking McDuffie. Yes, AJ was cooking McDuffie. Every time Jalen saw that matchup on the outside, he gave him the signal, hey, run a go route. And, for everybody that said it, for every analyst that, I don't think Jalen is the piece to get this team over the hump. I don't think, Jalen can't pass, and they need to, seek a trade, and in the offseason, he's just not the – Jalen shut everybody up. Jalen and the defense was the reason that the Eagles won this game. Look at when you look at the defense, bro, the Eagles defense has 6 sacks on 0 blitzes, on 0 pressures. This was just pure pass rush. They had 6 sacks on nothing but just defensive line pressure. No, forced 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 1 pick six. And, this pick six, it was Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean got a pick six on his birthday. You can't, I'm not even going to say script because somebody going to take it and they going to flip it. But, you can't put it together better than that. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, as far as the Chiefs, I mean, to me, it really seemed like the only person that was trying was Xavier Worthy. 8 receptions, 157 yards for the touchdown. Granted, that touchdown did come in garbage time, but it just seemed, I don't know, bro. I think it's hard to go back. It's hard enough to go back to back, but to go back to back to back, I think the Chiefs just ran out of gas, man. I mean, all the like you said before, all those games was one score game, and they getting away with a call at the end, and they just barely escaping games like that. It came back to bite them in the ass. I think they didn't have enough for the Eagles. They did not have enough for the Eagles in this game. And you know what? And before you say anything else, I want to say this. Shout out to Saquon, man, because for him not having the game that we expected him to have and that he wanted to have, he remained the ultimate team player. Like when they showed when they had the NFL mic'd up and the coach was just like, "Hey man, I know you're not, getting off or you're not having the game that you want to, but you're affecting the game in ways." And Saquon was just like Lombardi Trophy. I don't care about none of the Lombardi Trophy. That's the only thing that's on my mind. And like just him remaining level-headed and keeping everybody, how he kept telling, like, right here, everybody stay right here, regardless of the type. He knew he wasn't having a good game, and he managed to keep him and Jalen, managed to keep everybody in it, and even after Jalen threw that interception, not losing the team, not letting the morale get too low. It was an all around. It was a great performance by the Eagles, man. Great performance by the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, it was Saquon's birthday too. Ultimate birthday gift. Yeah. I won a Super Bowl my motherfucking birthday. That's some shit you'll be able to say for the rest of your fucking life. I mean, let me stop saying but dog. They just went out there. Just my front four is better than your front five. Do something about it. And it just felt like he after he threw that pick six, it just felt like Mahomes didn't really trust anybody to throw the ball to. He was kind of scared and hesitant. And then one of the plays he did throw the pick on, he did get hit.
Yeah.
He did get hit when he got knocked off. I mean, but you got Devontae or DeAndre dropping wide open catches. Kels dropped 3 wide open fucking catches on third down, all 3 of those catches.
And piggybacking off of that, Travis Kelce, come on, dog. 4 receptions for 39 yards in the Super Bowl. Come on, bro. You better than that.
Bro, what it is, bro, you need to go ahead, cut that hair, and grow that beard back. It get back to, okay, he won 1 with Taylor. Okay. But you won 2 with Shorty, all right? Balling. But I just think, I don't want to say, oh, Travis is old, he can't play anymore. He's definitely not the same Travis he was a couple years ago. And I think this year kind of showed that. But he's still Travis Kelce. He still can affect the game. He still can help you win football games.
I agree.
So I'm not going to buy that, oh, he's washed, he can't do it anymore. Just like Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers gets in the right situation, he's going to flourish.
Yeah.
It's just, you got to put yourself to the side and, all right, what's the best for this team, not what's best for me.
I would agree. And speaking of, what's best for the team, bro, let's talk about the Eagles for a second. The Eagles, they get to the Super Bowl, 2 years ago. They draft Jordan Davis. They see what they have in Jalen, and they build around him. They make a trade for A.J. Brown. They draft Jordan Davis. They signed DeAndre Swift in free agency. And, they make it to the Super Bowl. Granted, they lose to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but it was a close game. Mm-hmm. And instead of the Eagles, completely clearing, I mean, obviously they lost both of their coordinators. That second year, it was just a lot of uncertainty. It's hard to keep everybody, hard to keep, but they were still a winning team. They see what they needed to beat this team. And over the last 2 years, that's what they've added pieces in order to get back to this point. Because the whole time, Sirianni and Jalen, they all felt like they can get back to this point. They lose the Super Bowl. They lose both coordinators. Then after last year, what they do after last year? They draft Quinyon Mitchell. They draft Cooper DeJean. They get Jalen Carter the year before. That in the offseason, They signed Saquon Barkley, Zach Bond, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And look where they at, man. And also, props to Howie Roseman for not listening to the media, because I don't see nobody apologizing to Jalen. I don't see nobody apologizing to Sirianni, because if you remember back in, I want to say, the Eagles started off like 2-2, and all these analysts was all, oh, well, Sirianni's on his way out the door. They need to fire him. I don't think he can coach this team. He's lost the locker room, blah, 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 blah. And Howie didn't listen to that bullshit. Sirianni tuned it out, and so did the Eagles. And look what happened. And all you NFL teams, when y'all lose, actually, you know what? Calling the Cincinnati Bengals. Y'all need to take what the Eagles did and incorporate it into your franchise somehow. Whenever you get to the Super Bowl and you lose, you add to it. You may not get back right away, but you add to your team. Go ahead, my bad, bro.
I think since the Chiefs last 2 years have been good defensively, I think they're going to focus more so on offense, because that was their problem when they lost the last Super Bowl. Their defense couldn't stop shit. And then this Super Bowl, I mean, Kansas City defense did okay for a decent, at least throughout the whole first quarter.
That was just on the field too much.
Yeah, it's on the field too much, then you get tired, and then you see they keep scoring, your offense can't do nothing, and eventually you all right, fuck it then. But I think they're gonna try to see. This is why I was high on Kadarius Toney, but I didn't realize he was Antonio Brown after the success. Bro literally talked his way off of Cleveland. Like, you are a fucking moron. But having somebody with explosiveness, you know what I'm saying, somebody you have to pay attention to on every single play because you don't know what's going to happen, that's what they need. You know what I'm saying? They have enough possession guys with Juju and DeAndre and Hollywood, and then when Rice comes back, they have a decent wide receiving core. It's just something to give you that spark. Outside of Creed Humphreys, everybody on that offensive line that can go is expendable. Sorry, Wanye. I mean, hell, you got benched a couple times during the fucking season, sir, and then your ass is getting blown the fuck up heavily in that fucking Super Bowl. But it is what it is. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out my man Jalen Hurts, Boomer Sooner. Good job, sir. Appreciate it. Wish you much more success, and he will be back. But, I mean, when you're talking about a guy like Jalen Hurts, he's won everywhere, on every level. High school, college, now NFL. He's a winner. He just his aura just exudes, people to want to be better. You know what I'm saying? And he's a humble guy, down to earth, not too flashy. Like, you'd have to really be close to him to understand what he's like. He's just not going to give you that on camera.
And my thing is, if y'all really thought, like, y'all say he got that nonchalant look on it, like he don't give a fuck, it's like, bruh, if y'all thought he ain't give a fuck before, with all the shit y'all was saying about him, every time, if I'm Jalen, every time I heard somebody say something about me, I'm just doing this. I'm doing this right here. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I wouldn't. That'd be my response to everything. Oh yeah.
I got a ring, motherfucker. What about you?
But yeah, man. My bad. But yeah, man. Congratulations to the Eagles, and look, we don't get no participation trophies out around here, but hell, congratulations. Y'all can say what y'all want about the Chiefs, but the run that they've been on the last 5 years, the run Patrick Mahomes has been on the last 5-6 years, bro, it's been amazing. It's been amazing, and it's been incredible to watch. Like, we can sit up here and say what we want, but these type of players and these type of teams don't come alive very often.
They do not.
We're going to go ahead and jump off into a segment, what I like to call, this is pretty much going to be the basis of this episode. If I were GM, So we're gonna go through the teams in NFL, and what I want you to do is just give me a quick, if you were the GM for a day, give me a
You know what I do?
yeah, give me your quick fix. Just give me one or two things that you would fix to try to fix this team. First, we're gonna start with the Philadelphia Eagles. If you were GM of the Philadelphia Eagles, even just for a day, what would you do after this Super Bowl victory?
Damn, it's always what would you add? What would you take away? I mean, working on Jalen getting the ball out of his hands quicker. You don't want to rely on his athleticism. So I'd say probably another slot or something. Probably another slot. I mean, they are pretty young on defense. AJ's getting up to that second half of his career almost. Devontae's in his prime right now. So yeah, add a slot receiver. Give a complimentary piece to Saquon. I mean, I know they got Gainwell and stuff, but a real number two that could maybe even be a one day, something like that.
With the Eagles, I say, y'all just won the Super Bowl. Just try to keep what you can keep. I mean, you do got a lot of guys on rookie contracts. You do have some guys coming up where, I do feel like they deserve to get paid. You're not going to be able to keep everybody. I mean, Kellen Moore, obviously, he just got the head coaching job with the Saints. It's going to be kind of hard to replicate what he was able to do with Saquon, Jalen in this offense. So, just try to, keep what you can keep. And whoever you can't keep, if you can trade them away for money or draft compensation, just get what you can.
Yeah.
Now for the Chiefs, if you were the GM of the Chiefs, just for a day, what would you do to fix this team?
Man, bro, I'm making a lot of moves to get offensive linemen down there in Kansas City at Arrowhead. I'm looking for something explosive on the outside. I'm looking for like a Saquon type running back. You know what I'm saying? Because all this running back by committee stuff, it works, but sometimes you just need a for real, true ball carrier. And I'd resign Kareem Hunt because you really got to thank him. I don't see it happening, but you really got to thank him for how your season went last year. And then defensively, I'd resign Bolton, and then just try to hit on some defensive linemen, offensive linemen, some linebackers. Maybe even a couple more tight ends in the draft or free agency. That's what I would do. They got to get younger.
If I'm the GM of the Chiefs, I'm doing what the fuck I can to get Jawan Taylor the fuck off my team. He's been getting protected. Like, you can say what you want. He's been getting protected by the rest by false starts all fucking year. And on the biggest stage, you shit the bed. You shit the bed. Also, I don't give a fuck what it takes. If I got to break the bank, I'm doing what I can to get Trent Williams to fucking Kansas City. I don't give a fuck what you got to throw the bag at him. You saw what the fuck you just dealt with in the Super Bowl. If you're going to get back to that point, you got to shore up the offensive line, and Trent Williams is going to be a hot commodity this off season. And I would have
holler at your boy Orlando too.
Yeah, for
sure.
I
don't know what he did to piss him off, but you need him back.
And also, I would try to, you're gonna have Rashee Rice coming back next year. I was obviously wrong about Xavier Worthy. I say try to, with Rashee Rice coming back healthy next year, try to re-sign either. I don't think you're gonna be able to keep both of them. Try to re-sign Hollywood or DeAndre. They're both wily veterans. Try to help, coach. Try to help, develop. Try to help develop these young guys. So I say, try to, if you can, try to re-sign Hollywood or DeAndre to like a respectable veteran contract, something like that.
I think D-Hop is going to take whatever they give him.
I think so, too.
He's finally with a team or organization that's run properly that he could actually do something with. So, but Hollywood, yeah, bro, bye. I mean, not unless you're going to take the league minimum.
Yeah.
Because, brother, man, you don't stay healthy, dog.
Somebody gonna have to sign him to a prove-it deal. That's what's gonna have to happen. This
is the year.
Somebody's gonna have to sign him to a prove-it deal. Now moving on to the next team, the Lions. If you were the GM of the Lions, what would you do to fix this team in the offseason?
Shit. Maybe get a better strength and conditioning coach. 'Cause that's why they didn't. That's why they fucking lost all those injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Came to bit him in the ass in that game against Washington. Couldn't stop shit. Honestly. That's hard to say. That's really hard to say. Maybe linebacker, a couple of defensive line players. They can show up that secondary, safety and corner. They can show that up. But in terms of receiver and tight end and running back, they're okay. And how is Hutchinson gonna be the same player? You just saw his fucking leg snap like a chicken bone.
Damn.
So you know that's always in question. There's a lot of questions with that, but that's what I would do.
I'm gonna fuck you up with this one. They obviously need an edge rusher, right? If I'm the GM of the Lions and I know I need an edge rusher, there's a guy in Cleveland that wants out. So I'm the shit. You take these 2 first-round picks and you bring that motherfucker over here. I'm putting him opposite the side of Aiden Hutchinson, and we gonna rock this shit out. And if I can't, and you know what I'm saying, if I can't do that, the Chargers just got, it's been announced that the Chargers gonna let Joey Bosa walk. Joey Bosa ain't gonna have to be the guy in Detroit. I'm just saying, you need another edge rusher. So, if high side, trade for Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett don't work out. Joey Bosa, come on, have a seat, buddy. Come on, sit right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. But I mean, you can get Joey Bosa kind of cheap right now.
You can.
But you have to break that bag to go get Myles Garrett.
Well, I think Myles Garrett already got paid, so the only thing they probably just have to surrender 2 first-round picks. Whoever get Myles Garrett, that's what the fuck they gonna have to do.
Man, a lot of people ain't budging off them picks, nigga.
Shit, we'll see. We'll see because it's a couple teams coming up, and that I think that what I'm saying just we gonna get to them. But we gonna keep it rolling, man. The Vikings. If you were the GM of the Vikings, what would you do to fix this team in the offseason?
Franchise tag, buddy. I'm not paying you all that. Cause how you turned to shit at the end of the season. Franchise tag on him. They need shit, and they already got Addison and one tight end, and then Jefferson. Yeah, throw in a slot. Tyreek wants out reportedly, but I don't know if they have enough money to do that with him, and after just paying Jefferson. Then they're thinking about they're gonna have to think about if we're gonna keep Addison or not. They just paid the tight end last offseason. So yeah, I'd add a slot, franchise tag, dude, draft a quarterback, and get that secondary together because they started just getting ran through at the end there. But for a long time, I'm like, damn, they had a great draft, free agency or something. This defense is playing. But,
yeah.
Try to replicate that and go from there.
I say if I'm the GM of the Vikings, I say you do what the fuck you got to do to get JJ McCarthy as NFL ready as possible. If I'm the GM, JJ McCarthy, you ain't doing shit. You ain't going home. Don't bring no women to bro. Get this motherfucking playbook. Watch this film, and you're going to be the starting QB of the Minnesota Vikings next season. That's what I'm doing.
I don't know, man, because homie he caught staph infection, so he had to get 2 more surgeries. A lot of people don't know about. Yep. So he's probably just now being able to put on some weight. Because like that, they said when he came in, to start the season, he was around like 190, 210, and then after the surgeries and shit, because you can't work out, they said he looks fucking sick. So he's probably around 160, 170. So I don't know. That's going McCarthy may have to be the season after this coming one.
Maybe we'll see. I mean, they ain't spent a first round pick on it for nothing.
I think they did. I said it when they did it, but and we'll see. I could be wrong, but like him in Michigan, pretty much was a dink and dunk. You know, they'll go down the field sometimes, but it wasn't
All the
like
time.
Michael Penix. Yeah,
Right.
It wasn't like Michael Penix or nothing like that. It was kind of close to what Texas did with Quinn Ewers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of design shit.
Now, the Buffalo Bills, if you were the GM of the Buffalo Bills, what would you do in the offseason to fix this team?
Shit, man. Kill Andy Reid. I don't know. Shit. Because Buffalo is a very good team, and they're not playing Kansas City. Very good team. So, shit. I'd add a true number one wide receiver. I mean, even though they have one, you'll forget. I forget that Mari's still there. He's there. But add a true one wide receiver, tweak the defense a little bit, get some younger guys at some key positions like linebacker, defensive end, strong safety, corner. Yeah, I mean, Cook balled out last year, so hell, get somebody to help him so he can keep some more tread of those tires.
If I'm the GM of the Buffalo Bills, and this is a stretch. If I'm the GM of the Buffalo Bills, I'm trimming some of the fat on this offense, and I'm doing what the fuck I can to get T. Higgins to Buffalo. That's what I'm doing. If I'm the GM, I'm figuring out how I can move some money around to get T. Higgins to come play for the Buffalo Bills. That y'all because getting the true number one wide receiver should be Buffalo's main priority this offseason. But if I'm the GM, and I'm obviously in win now mode. The only team we can't get over the hump with is Kansas City. But if I'm the GM, I'm doing what I can. I'm trimming the fat. I'm making motherfuckers take some pay cuts, restructuring deals, whatever, to get T. Higgins to Buffalo. That's just me.
I can see that. I agree with that. I'm not mad at that, but does he want to do that?
He just want the bag. He just want that.
That's it. That too, but that Cincinnati code and that Buffalo, New York code is two different codes, nigga. It's cold in Buffalo.
That's true, but he's
cold.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind, bro. It is New York. He's Cincinnati and New York.
Upstate. Upstate.
It's still New York, dog.
Upstate.
New York.
No, nigga. New York City and upstate New York is two different places.
It's still New York.
I think it's about a 2.5, 3 hour drive to get to New York City.
I wouldn't give a fuck. It's still New York. Whole different media market.
That's a small media market in Buffalo.
Moving on to the next team. If you were the GM of the Baltimore Ravens, what would you do to fix this team in the offseason?
Fix that fucking defense. You know what I'm saying? Especially that fucking secondary. I can't cover or stop shit. Yeah, fix that shit. Get some get some guys with good cover skills that that can play the ball and be put in positions not to get beat all the time. Get a pass rush. We haven't heard of a real pass rusher in Baltimore in a long time. I'm talking about like superstar, almost on a superstar level. You could always, nothing wrong with adding another weapon, somebody to help Zay Flowers out. Even though I do think Rashad Bateman is the guy that could do that, and then Likely, and then Andrews, obviously. But yeah, adding another slot. They could be in that sweepstakes to get T. Higgins. Put Zay at the slot. T. Higgins at the 1 or 2, Bateman at the 1 or 2, you know what I'm saying? They can freak it that way and beef up that offensive line and get another running back. Get another running back to complement Derrick Henry now. I still feel like it's Justice Hill. I'm trying to tell you it's not. But every now and again he'll break through and have a run and make everybody think, oh, yeah. No. I mean, honestly, bro, he's gonna have a long career because he hadn't played a whole lot.
That's fair. That's fair. He could also be a career backup though as well.
True.
If I'm the Ravens, I'm doing I agree with you. I'm doing what I can to try to shore up the defense. We may not have a pass rusher, but that defensive line is solid. I think Matabuike, they have elite talent on all three levels of the ball. You got Matabuike, you got Roquan Smith, and then you got Kyle Hamilton, who's he can play linebacker and he can play safety. So I think they got to make a play at cornerback. Honestly, what? Come to think about it, if I'm the GM, I know Jair Alexander don't want to be in Green Bay no more. So I'm doing what I can. I think I'm gonna try my hand at that. Try to get Jair Alexander to Baltimore. That's what I'm. That's if I'm GM of Baltimore, for just for a day, that's what I'm doing.
I'm fucking with that.
All right, moving on. I'm gonna take this one first because this is the team that I was talking about. If you were the GM of the Commanders for a day, what would you do? I know what I would do. Obviously, that defense was okay. But if we in win now mode and we trying to get back to where we were and get over the hump and change the entire outlook of this team, I got the picks, probably got the money. I'm gonna make a play at Myles Garrett. If I'm the GM of Washington and I know I need to shore up the defense, I'm doing what I can to make a play at Myles Garrett. I don't know about anybody else, but if I was the GM of Washington, that's what I'm doing. Take these two first round picks. You take these two first round picks and go and send Myles Garrett on over here.
That'd be pretty nasty. I'll piggyback off that. I still think they don't have a true number one wide receiver. That's at Washington. Like I like Terry McLaurin, but they just need another one outside the tight end because what they're gonna start doing is double teaming Ertz, and they're gonna start fucking him up. That's what's gonna happen, and then once he's out the game and all you got is Terry, they're gonna put him on an island and then force you to pass to somebody else.
Yep.
So he needs more weapons. And he needs more of a running game, because a lot of NFL is very smart. They're gonna watch that film, see all the shit you like to do, and make you do all the shit that we think you can't do.
Yep.
So
a lot of Super Bowls.
Yeah. I mean, but shit. I mean, name me a motherfucker who's getting killed the whole damn game by a pass rush and won the game.
That's true.
I mean, that nigga was getting slaughtered. It's very hard to win a football game like that. But that's what I would do. That's what I would do with Washington. Get a running game, another receiver, try to get Myles Garrett, make that secondary better, get a good, decent core group of linebackers.
Now I think we just gonna keep it with the playoff teams because if we do the entire fucking NFL, we gonna be here all goddamn night. We'll say the rest of it for a completely different episode. But next team, if you were the GM of the Chargers for a day, or just what would you do to fix this team in the offseason?
Shit, nigga. Let's start by getting some wide receivers that's gonna catch the football. Think that helps. Let's get a defense that actually gets the team the ball back with an opportunity to take the lead in most football games. Now, say what you want, that defense did come alive, albeit it was late, but they did come alive last year. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm going out, see what I can get in free agency in terms of wide receiver. Looking at the receivers that did their thing in college last year. Now, a perfect fit would be that boy that they played at Arizona, but he's not going to be there when they draft. He'll already be with someone. Maybe you can convince them to trade that pick and give it to you, whoever gets him. but they desperately need a Megatron, Terrell Owens type guy right now.
I would agree. If I'm the Chargers GM and I'm doing something and I'm trying to fix this team in the offseason, I don't know if J.K. Dobbins is going to be my long-term answer. And me being a Steelers fan, I hate to say this, but I'll make a run at Najee. I would. And in Harbaugh's offense, shit. I think that's what I do. I would make a run at Najee.
Mm-hmm.
Make a run at Najee. And hell, if we can't get one, I wouldn't even wait till the draft. I'll make a trade for DK. I go if I'm GM of the Chargers, I'd be able to get him for cheap because you're not gonna get a first. I don't think he's first round worthy of a trade. But hell, I would.
DK?
Yes, I don't think DK. I don't think DK Metcalf's worth the first round. Trade worth like trading wise. I don't think DK's worth the first round trade. I really don't.
So he worth the second and third?
I'd take the second. I give you the second, but I'm not giving you my first round pick.
That's fair.
He's always. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like and this ain't me saying that DK ain't like that because he is a good wide receiver, but he did have a down year last year. He does get flagged for fucking unnecessary roughness and just a lot of dumb shit. So, but I mean, I'm just saying if I'm the Chargers, I would make a run at Najee Harris, and it hurts me to say that as a Steelers fan. And I would trade for DK Metcalf.
That's the crazy thing you say that because I personally feel like Najee might get franchise tagged.
I feel like that too, and I hope they don't because somebody that needs a running back, they're gonna try to match his offer. And then once he might end up going to the fucking Raiders, and I damn sure don't want to see that.
That's career suicide, man. Why you think Josh Jacobs he left warm ass motherfucking Nevada and went to Green Bay because that organization is ran that fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams is from the West Coast. Went all the way east to go play the cold ass New York.
In a shitty ass team. You went from one shitty team to another.
I tell you what, that's the motherfucker who I'm trying to get if I'm Kansas City. That's the motherfucker I'm trying to get him.
I ain't mad at that either.
Yards.
Yak. Yards after catch.
Yep.
Now, moving on to the Green Bay Packers. If you were GM of the Green Bay Packers, what would you do to fix this team in the offseason?
A whole new offensive line, apparently. 'Cause, every time Love gets breathed on. Before he got paid, he was so durable and strong. And then, literally, my homie that got cut by Tennessee for Mr. Levis came in and literally saved their season a couple times.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't afford Love being out, 5-6 games, and then they lose the playoff, after playoff hunt and everything, and then Matt LaFleur is getting fired and shit like that. We don't need that. Matt LaFleur is a good offensive mind. He's good for the NFL, and we need him. We need him in the NFL. But yeah, gotta get a new offensive line, and hell, the better secondary too. And that wouldn't hurt. Everybody on the offensive line and secondary that played here last year, goodbye. There's the door, and hope you figure something out for your football career.
Honestly, if I'm the GM for the Green Bay Packers, this is another team who I feel like they're lacking a true number one wide receiver. Like, when you look at their offense, I
don't think he's emerged yet.
Christian Watson has been supposed to be the guy. I think this is like the third year of this project, and he's still he can't stay healthy. And I mean, he's up and down when he is on the field. And I like don't get me wrong, I like Jaden Reed. I like Jaden Reed a lot. But I think he just I can't see him being the wide receiver one on this team. I think he just lacks the size to be a wide receiver one. That's just my opinion.
For some people, they just catch on to the speed and everything, reading the safeties and stuff late. And that just might be the situation with Buddy.
That's fair, too. That's fair. All right, moving on. If you were the GM of the Buccaneers for a day, a week, or whatever, what would you do to fix this team in the offseason?
A better offensive line. Because Bake was getting fucking killed. He really was. And honestly, I don't know how Chris Godwin's situation is going to be. I don't know if he's going to come back. Or if he does come back, is he going to be the same player? So not one but two more wide receivers. Hell, you might want to throw in a tight end too. The secondary. Hell, the whole defense. They need a pass rush. They need some linebackers. They need some good cover corners. They need some good safeties. They can revamp the whole motherfucking defense, honestly, because that defense wasn't stopping shit. I remember the last game of the fucking season, like, if they win, they was in. Only reason why Tampa won because who was they playing? The Saints? The Saints' defense and offense was just that fucking bad. That's the only reason why they won. Honestly, the whole NFC South is that fucking bad.
That's how that's how I think the Buccaneers won that division, because it's just by default, because the NFC South has been bad for a couple years now.
Yeah, outside of them, but I tell you what, boy, when Michael Penix get comfortable playing in the NFL, ooh,
yeah,
shit.
That's another episode. That's for another episode. We definitely gonna talk about that.
And if Bryce can continue how he ended the season, if he can continue that, yeah.
Gonna make that division exciting again. You know, if I'm the GM of the Buccaneers, I'm doing what I can to try to keep Chris Godwin. I know he want to get paid, and if I'm the GM, I would go ahead and pay him. And you got to build the defense back up. Like, the defense is
not coming off an injury, bro. It's perfect time to part ways with him, I think.
And like, if you can't, this is another crazy take. If you can't manage to get Chris Godwin, I do think you need a tight end, and I do think he's on his way. I do think they're ready to part ways with him, especially what happened in the playoffs. Make a play at Mark Andrews. Yeah, I mean, that's him and Baker. They are familiar with each other. Shit, try to get Mark Andrews. That's just my thought.
You wouldn't be dropping all them shits. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to his in my nigga's defense, he was backpedaling. His foot bounced off the back of his other foot. Then he had to reach down. The motherfucker is 6'5". It was a lot of movement. Why can't you ever throw the fucking ball right here to Mark Andrews, motherfucker? Huh?
That's just my thought process.
But every time Lamar get in the playoffs, he turned to Randall Cunningham. So when he was with the Eagles back in the day, for those of you who may know about that. But hey, it is what it is.
We talking about black quarterbacks and shit. All right, moving on to the next team, the Houston Texans. If you're the GM of the Houston Texans for a day, what are you doing to fix this team in the offseason?
Shit, bro. Yeah, you need a whole new offensive line. I think Tank Dell's going to be okay. But, yeah, everybody can use a number one receiver, number two receiver, a decent tight end. What the fuck happened to the defense, bro? Injuries?
The defense is actually respectable. They actually the defense actually kept them alive in a few games this season. I mean, they play. I mean, they went out there and beat the shit out of the. It was pretty much the defense that beat the shit out of the Chargers in the fucking playoffs. So,
this is true. Points were made.
But I mean, they still got some young pieces on that. They got some young pieces on that defense, and they got a couple guys that's on like the third year of their contract. So I think the defensive side of the ball, I think Houston is okay. But if I'm the GM, I think this is
offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely doing what I can to show up the offensive line, but I know he's coming off an injury, and like he was playing well before he got hurt. I would do what I can to bring Stephon Diggs back, not on a big contract. I think give him. Re-sign him to like maybe a small 2-year extension or something like that. But I think I do what I can. I think I do what I can to try to bring Stephon Diggs back.
But is he going to be sensible enough to basically what you're saying is he needs to sign a proven contract.
Not necessarily a proven contract. Just I give you a 2-year deal, but it ain't gonna be for it's not gonna be massive. I say like a 2-year, I don't know, 30. Take like a running back type contract, a 2-year, 2-year, 30 million, something like that.
At least 2 year 40, man.
There you go. I can that that I can do, but I'm not signing you to no 4 or 5 year contract because you 30 something years old coming off injury. I'm not signing you to no 4 or 5 year long term contract. I ain't
this is his first major injury.
Yeah, but it's his first major injury, but he's up. He's getting up there in age. Yeah. So that old age shit, you know how much that gets thrown around in the NFL. And as much as I hate to say it, it is a topic of discussion.
I wonder what they're gonna say about when Derrick Henry and Saquon's doing this shit in their late 30s.
I tell you right now, when Saquon get paid, because Saquon they might fuck around and extend Saquon, and I think that's gonna reset I think Saquon's next contract, if he does get another contract, is gonna reset. It's gonna reset the market value for running backs. That's what I think.
Every time they try to devalue or make the running back position not mean shit, then we have a whole year where it was pretty much the running backs years. You know what I'm saying? With the shit Derrick was doing, shit Saquon was doing, the shit Josh Jacobs was doing, has been doing.
Shit, J.K. Dobbins had a comeback year. Kyron Williams, he's been balling the last 2 years. Shit, Joe Mixon had a comeback year in Houston. Shit.
I wouldn't call it a comeback year. It's just the same. It was just the same shit. Just a different team.
That's fair.
But Cincinnati suffered.
Yeah, we saw.
Not having a running back.
We saw.
Suffered.
We saw. All right, moving on to the next team. If you are the GM of the LA Rams, what are you doing to fix this team in the offseason?
Well, first of all, the real first question is, how do we feel about Stafford? Is it time for us to move on from Stafford? Are we trying to build for the future? Are we still trying to win now? They got a young defense that showed some promise at the end.
Yes, they did.
So they showed a lot of promise at the end, so you got to think, well, hell, they don't really got to re-sign nobody now unless they want to get a linebacker, another edge rusher or something like that. They could – look, man, I know everybody likes Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. They cool and all, but they need like a good tight, athletic tight end. Somebody with good hands and a little speed after the catch. Something like that, because I think that's what they was missing last year. Obviously, I haven't liked any of the Rams running backs since Ty Gurley has left. They need a Derrick Henry, Saquon, prime Ezekiel Elliott kind of running back in LA. And shit, redoing the offensive line wouldn't hurt either, but you got to figure out that quarterback situation, because there's a way Aaron Rodgers could be playing on that team.
I'll piggyback off what you said. I think you got to figure out the QB situation, and I say get ready for the future. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna trade Matt Stafford, get what you can for him. Get a couple. If you can't get a first round, I would get 2 second rounders, a second and a third round, and try to get a QB in this year's draft. Maybe find him in the late rounds, and kind of like you said, if you have to, bring Aaron Rodgers in for a fucking year. You know what I'm saying? Just on a bridge year, because you're going after you trade Matt Stafford, you're gonna be in purgatory for about a year or two. So just get ready for the future, man. If you're gonna trade Stafford, find you a QB in the draft, and take a year or two to try to develop him, and just get ready for the future. That's all you can do.
I'm fucking with that.
Now we got 2 more teams left. This next one, I'm gonna take this one first.
Okay.
If you are the GM of the Pittsburgh Steelers for a day, what are you doing to fix this team in the offseason? I'm taking this one first. And you know what I'm gonna say. If I'm the GM of the Steelers, Sign Justin Fields. Give him a 1 or 2 year contract. Obviously, you're keeping Arthur Smith. We know what Arthur Smith likes to do. We know what Justin is good at. We were 4-2. The Steelers were 4-2 with Justin when he was starting. Stick with Justin. Give him a 2-year contract. Give him another wide receiver for him to throw the ball to. Especially since we're sticking with Arthur Smith. Let Justin give him a 2-year contract. Let him rock out for a year. Let him earn himself a long-term contract, and so be it, man. Let Justin rock out, bro. Give him a year not to have nothing to worry about. That's what I would do.
Again, what we just talked about the last team. Let's figure out the quarterback situation. Let's go from there. Re-sign Najee Harris. You need Najee. Now, I don't know. I've been looking at the comments of some of your fellow Steelers fans. It's like, who the fuck else you got to replace him? Who else you got in mind? Because everybody else that you would think of is already signed the fuck up for a couple years. So, with that being said, re-sign Saquon. Get
Saquon. Shit, I'd love to have
Saquon.
Hey, no, yeah, come on. If we can sign Saquon, come on over here. I would love to have Saquon in Pittsburgh.
Najee, get George Pickett some help, because this motherfucker is literally a couple plays away, a couple games away from walking off the field like Antonio Brown did in New York a couple years ago.
I hope not.
Y'all could use a tight end. Get your boy TJ some help, and beef up that front seven, and some good things should happen in Baltimore. I mean Pittsburgh. I'm so sorry.
Don't you ever
Pittsburgh.
Don't you ever in your motherfucking life.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about teams that are really close to getting to that Super Bowl. I was just thinking about teams that are really close. I mean, if Lamar holds on to the fucking ball, don't airmail picks and shit, it might have been a different football game. But we'll never know.
Now, the last team of the playoffs, the Denver Broncos. If you are the GM of the if you're the GM of the Denver Broncos, what are you doing to fix this team in the offseason?
But pray to God, Bo Nix has a better year than he did last year, or the same kind of year. I don't think he's doing that, but I was wrong on Bo Nix to begin with. This motherfucker had more yards than Jaden Daniels.
Passing wise, he did, yeah.
Yeah, passing wise, I think why he adds him out is the rushing yards. But they got a young team, very young football team. Only thing I would say, they need like a veteran wide receiver just to show the young guys how to conduct themselves and do shit, like a Juju type or an Amari Cooper type, somebody that still got a couple more good years in them to play football. So that's what I would suggest. What about you?
Piggybacking off what you said, you saw the year Bo Nix had, and I think it's gonna get a whole lot better. This is a Sean Payton offense, and what has Sean Payton's what position has always thrived in the Sean Payton's offense? The running back.
Oh,
so I think you make a play at getting a true number one running back in the offseason. And if you can, I don't think you should go all out to grab one. If you can, get him, get Bo Nix another wide receiver. I like Courtney Sutton, I like Marvin Mims, but I do think this team needs a true dominant, a true number one wide receiver, opposite of Courtney Sutton and Marvin Mims.
Yeah, because, shit, man. Courtney Sutton, I think it was a stat I saw at some point in the season where he was, getting, 57% of the targets on offense or 60-something. I'm like, damn, bro, what my nigga Marv? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck, dog?
I think it just got to do with a trust thing. You build trust over time, and we kind of saw Bo Nix. It got up to he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't doing what we expected him to do. He was having a lot of games where he was barely breaking he had a few games he was barely breaking 100 yards. Then, like, I think he got off for like 2.
That's Bo Nix at Auburn.
Yeah.
That's Bo Nix.
But it's like it just he progressed as the season went on. You know, he had that one game where he threw for like 200 yards, and it was just on the up and up from that point on. I mean, look, if you're a Broncos fan, y'all did make the playoffs for the first time in like 10 years since Peyton Manning was there, so you do have that to build on.
And had a cup of coffee and was back out, not competing for a title.
But hey, they did make it. So I mean, if you're a Broncos GM, bro, you got to build off of that. Don't.
Baltimore makes the playoffs too.
Baltimore makes the playoffs, but they also have grown. They also have turned themselves into a team that we just expect to make the playoffs every year. Ain't nobody expect. Let's be honest. Wasn't nobody expecting Denver to make the playoffs this year?
I was like, well, Sean Payton's getting fired this year. but that didn't happen. For some unforeseeable fucking things happened. But hey, look, if Bo Nix can make the playoffs on the fucking Broncos, anything can happen.
Anything is possible.
Hey man, like I look, Tatum, that was corny, bro. that was real corny. You try to have your KG moment, bro. I saw a picture of Jalen just standing there after they won the Super Bowl. They said Jason Tatum wish he had. I'm like, good God. Oh man.
I can't.
Yeah, man, they not lying.
I can't argue with it, but you know what I'm saying. 18. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. Well.
You can't even say nothing like that. We'll see y'all at some point. I don't know when it may not be this year, may not be next year, but at some point.
I ain't give a fuck to play you niggas no more. As long as we get 20 before y'all. Fuck it. How about that?
That's fair. I'll take that.
Fuck Boston, nigga.
Anyway, man, that's gonna be it for this week's episode, man. As always, we thank y'all for tuning in. Please, if you have made it this far in the episode, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment. Please give us any type of constructive criticism you feel is necessary, other than the other little stupid baiting bullshit that y'all be doing on the internet, because neither one of us are here for it. And also, if we don't get back to y'all within the next week or two, please make sure to wish my dog a happy birthday, man, because his birthday is coming up. He is going to be the big 3-0 this year.
As well as your birthday.
Yes, sir. I on the 11th, you know what I'm saying? I will be having plenty of these and, a couple shots of that hen dog. No. It's set to be a really good night.
It's going to be very nice, very nice.
Well,
March 8th.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
But as always, man, until next episode, Ryan, I love you, brother. Be safe and hope you continue to keep fighting through the week, man.
You too, man.
All right, we out.